Welcome to Pacific Northwest Mike Check, where Mike Connolly, owner of Windermere Real Estate Central Inc. in Kirkland, shares his lifetime of experiences as a successful businessman, real estate broker, and Pacific Northwest enthusiast. Throughout this podcast, Mike will be interviewing passionate experts in the industry who will give you a new perspective on the world of real estate, business, and life.
Hey, welcome everybody. Sophia, we're starting our number 12 podcast in Pacific Northwest Mike Check. So kind of a landmark time and super excited. We've got a very special guest coming up on this podcast.
Yes, episode 12, 1 year of podcasting. The time flew by and we've had some incredible guests this past year, and we have some really fun things planned coming up, and we're just going to jump right into it. We have a special episode today, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that as the podcast goes on. So
Absolutely.
To kick us off, our 12th episode and our 12th piece of advice from Mike. What do you have for us today, Mike?
Yeah, so today, my encouragement for you property owners out there is to reach out to your realtor and ask them if they perform an annual property review for you. That's one of the things that Windermere real estate brokers do a lot of, and it's just fulfilling that role of serving as your real estate broker, but giving you a very accurate look at the value of your properties, your home, your investment properties, or what you're considering buying. So use that resource. They're very good at what they do.
Yeah, they really are. And I'm sure they would be happy to help, especially during this time with the way the market is. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, our next segment here is Open Mic, and Open Mic is a forum where listeners can submit their questions on our various platforms and Mike will answer them. So we had some questions about the podcast actually today, since it is our anniversary episode. So the first question we got was, what has been your favorite part of podcasting this year?
Yeah, I think my favorite part has just been reaching out to my network of folks, whether it be my real estate brokers in my office, our brokers here, people in the industry from Northwest MLS to the Association of Realtors. We've had the Kirkland Chamber Executive Director on board, just so many people in the network. It's been fun to have them come together.
It really has. It really has. And if any of those guests pique your interest and you haven't seen the episodes, go back and take a look. We really have interviewed a breadth of people in the Kirkland and Pacific Northwest area. Yeah,
no, and I would just validate that as, boy, if you're looking at our office, or if you're just looking at the Kirkland community, great people to listen to.
Yeah, great insights into the community, and it really plays tribute to our name of our podcast. We really have talked to so many people in the area, and that takes us to our next question: is what can we expect from the podcast moving forward? What does year 2 look like for Pacific Northwest Mike Check?
Sure. So, one of the things that our company is very much involved with, Windermere Real Estate as a whole, our entire 11-state footprint, is leading the industry down the path of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so, we'll be heading down the road on a lot of that topic. In addition to housing affordability, there's so much going on in housing affordability need, both on the rental side of people having housing and home ownership. So that is what we'll take a strong look at as we get into our second year, Sophia.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy to hear it being said, the second year of the podcast.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, we are all looking forward to that. And of course, if you have any suggestions, any of you listeners out there, for any guests or things that you want to hear about, let us know. We would love to incorporate areas of real estate or specific people out there who want to be on the podcast. Please reach out. We'd love to hear from the community and hear more about what you guys want to hear as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be fun.
Yeah. Well, So that wraps up our beginning portion of this very
Yeah.
special episode. So, Mike, can you actually tell our listeners who our special guest is going to be today?
Yeah, our special guest this podcast is actually our new building. And Sophia, I got to tell you, it has turned out beyond expectations. But we're going to walk through the building. We're going to meet a few people and see what awesome space has been developed for us there with our general contracting team, our architect, designers have worked so closely together. So it's gorgeous, and I'm anxious to interview that first guest.
Yeah,
Special
awesome.
guest.
Very, very fun. And if you are listening to this as a podcast, we encourage you to head over to our YouTube channel where you can actually watch the walkthrough and see the actual building. It's beautiful. And I can't wait for you to show our audience all of the details and the intention that really went into the building. And it's the beginning of the second year of our podcast, the beginning of the new building. It's a lot of new beginnings, and it's really something to look forward to.
Yeah, very much. Very much.
And who is our next, after this very special episode, who will be our very first guest in our second year of our podcast, Mike?
Yeah, and to the discussion of our podcast moving forward, Obi Jacoby, the president of Windermere Service Company, will join us. Obi has very much invested himself in diversity, equity, and inclusion, and exciting announcements with regard to what Windermere Real Estate is doing on that platform.
Yeah, that's going to be an incredible episode. Everyone should definitely tune in. Looking forward to meeting him and sitting down with him and having that discussion. And I think before we wrap up this portion, there's one big thank you we have to give to all our listeners as well who have tuned in this past year. It has been so much fun for Mike and I to develop this podcast and really make it into something that's a resource for the community, for brokers, and beyond just the Pacific Northwest. So thank you to everyone who has listened, who has tuned in, who sent us questions, and who's really been a part of this journey. And we hope that you stick around for year 2.
Yeah, I hope so too. And I'll add on to that a lot of our voices are people that are doing incredible things in our community and generally are unheard. They're silent warriors out there. So it's good to have them on board with us.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Well, without further ado, we will take you to our new building.
And welcome aboard. Excited to show you.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Where exactly are we today?
We are at our new office building on Market Street in Kirkland. Come on in. Come on in.
What is your role at Windermere Kirkland?
My wife and I own the office, and I manage it every day.
And what is something you're excited about right now?
I'm excited about the growth we're going to have here in Kirkland with the office.
How many floors is this building?
It is 2 stories above a garage.
How do you usually start your day?
I start my day reading.
How long have you been in the real estate industry?
41 years.
Where do you find motivation in your life?
I find motivation coming to work helping people build a business.
Who is someone that you look up to?
My mom.
What makes Windermere Kirkland special?
Kirkland is special just because of the team, the collaboration.
How many brokers were in your office when you first started?
Our first office had 7 brokers.
And how many brokers are there now?
There are 58.
What is one thing you wish you can tell young Mike?
Get started sooner.
How long did this building take to build?
Took 2 years. Hi, CJ.
Morning, Mike.
What is your favorite part of the building?
The deck upstairs.
What is the favorite item that you have purchased for this building?
The fire table that's going on the deck.
Can you describe Kirkland in 3 adjectives?
Sure. Fun, scenic, and fun.
What is the best advice you have ever received?
Discretion is the better part of valor.
Do you have any hidden talents?
No, everything is known.
What is your favorite tool to use?
I love to use a chainsaw.
Where is your favorite place in the world?
Favorite place, Okanagan Valley.
What was your inspiration for this building?
Investment and providing a very visible home for our company.
Where do you see this office in the next 5 years?
Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Mike. Hey,
Yeah,
wanted to ask you, you going to Fort Collins, Colorado for the Ninja installation?
still thinking about it. You still on board?
I am all in.
Awesome. Good to see you.
You do.
How do you spend your downtime?
I spend it in the gym, kind of my sanctuary.
And do you volunteer for anything?
Yes, I do, quite a bit.
Where did you go to high school?
Lake Washington High School, I'm a kangaroo.
And where did you go to college?
University of Washington.
And who helped make this building a reality?
Our team, architect, general contractor, BJ and I.
What's the fastest you have ever sold a house?
About a half a day.
And what's your favorite food?
Chicken pad thai.
What type of events will be hosted at this building?
People events, civic events, broker events.
And what does the acronym WAK stand for?
That is our marketing program. We are Kirkland.
Where were you born?
Born in Seattle.
How did you meet your wife?
We met at the university.
How would you describe the office culture here?
Very collaborative.
With no context, think somebody on camera that deserves some praise.
Van.
How do you usually unwind?
Reading.
And what is your favorite spot in this new building?
It's the deck.
What is your favorite season?
Fall is my favorite.
What is your favorite movie?
Casablanca.
What is your favorite book?
Frederick Douglass.
Where is your favorite place to eat in Kirkland?
Favorite place is Hanuman Thai Restaurant.
What is the closest place to eat around here?
Hanuman Thai Restaurant.
What do you do on your days off?
Ride motorcycles, play a little golf.
And where do you see yourself a year from now?
We'll be a bigger office in a year. We've got 70 to 75 brokers planned for our office.
Is there a hobby that you've always wanted to pick up?
I've always wanted to learn how to fly.
Is there a dessert you cannot live without?
I am not a dessert guy.
How would you describe your team here at Windermere Kirkland?
Professional, collaborative, and they're my friends. And Ms. BJ. Love you to meet my wife, BJ, and business partner. Beej, can you join us on the tour?
You know, I'd love to, but I'm working on a big deal right now. Sorry.
Understand. Good to see you.
Who is a fictional character you'd want to spend the day with?
Happy Gilmore. Hi, Divya. Hi, John.
Can you say anything in a foreign language?
Ja говорю по-русски, да?
If you had to choose another career,
Hi, Joanne.
what would you be doing?
I'd be back out in the woods. That's where my education started.
What's one thing on your bucket list?
Bucket list is a month in Ireland.
What is your favorite TV show of all time?
That would be MASH.
Do you have any pets?
2 cats. Hi, team.
I hear you have a podcast. What is that about?
Podcast is about, this is our 12th, by the way. We've been doing it a year. It's about people, it's about community, and our business.
And where can people listen to your podcast?
If you go to wearekirkland.com and click on the podcast button, our library is there. And that's a tour of our office, and it has been just an absolute pleasure to have you all here. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for listening to Pacific Northwest Mike Check. Tune in every first Wednesday of the month to learn something new about real estate, business, and life.